What's going on, beautiful people? It's Serena, and welcome to my Empower You channel. Now, I promise I will do my best to consistently give you all wisdom of the day. I'll try not to take too much time out of your day when I give the videos because I understand how frustrating it can be when you're on YouTube and you're trying to look for one specific thing and this person seems to just talk for like hours and hours on end. I mean, I know that drives anybody crazy. That drives me crazy, right? But first, before we get into that, being that this is my first video, I got to establish and talk to you all about my platform. And those who follow me already on social media, on Facebook, see that I post a lot about fitness. And you're probably wondering why does she talk about fitness? Is she a personal trainer? Is she trying to market her business? No, I'm actually not a personal trainer. I really don't know that much about fitness other than the things that I've researched and learned on my own. A lot of the things that I've learned in terms of fitness, I learned from the people that I surrounded myself with. I started hanging out with people who are in the fitness network. But I love fitness. I love it because of what it does for the mind, fitness for the mind. And when I started my platform to talk about motivation and life coaching, I use fitness as a base. And I want to talk to you about why I choose that, what inspired me to want to coach and help others, encourage them to believe and know that they can just do anything that they put their mind to, and how fitness ties into that. So I'll be honest with you, starting this channel, it took a lot for me to do it. I didn't have the courage. I was scared of the criticism. I know that it's a difficult world out there. You know, there's a lot of people who have a lot to say, opinion-wise, and I didn't know if I was ready to face that. But I had a realization with myself with talking with a good friend. You know, I'm not here living for other people. You know, God gave us all gifts, and I believe my gift is in speaking and inspiring others. And I genuinely have the heart to want to encourage people, because I just hate to see people down or feeling like they're hopeless, because I know exactly how it feels. And call me soft, but that's always been the kind of person I have been growing up. You know, I can remember doing things like giving to people who were homeless, because I know what it's like to feel homeless. You know, growing up, I've had that experience. I know what it's like to cry or to, have low self-esteem, and all these things kind of help point me in the journey of fitness. Before I deployed to Afghanistan, I had a moment in my life that kind of changed things for me. I had a moment where I trusted someone, they took advantage. And when they did, as a young lady who doesn't really quite know who she is, that does something to your self-esteem. It did a lot to my self-esteem then. And then I remember just searching. I wasn't conscious of me searching. I just know that looking back, that's what I was doing as a young lady, searching for validation, searching for who I was through others. And so I tend to put faith in the seasonal things. Having this amount of money made me worth it. I thought that I had to have this car. That means I'm successful. Somebody will love me because I have this car. I have this amount of money. And then I was looking for someone to tell me that they love me. I mean, that's what's real. I mean, at the time going through it, no, that wasn't what was coming to the forefront of my mind. Otherwise, I'd been able to catch myself, right? Most of us don't realize that we're searching until it's over and you look back, right? So I'm just sharing with you all a few of my challenges and how I came to terms with it, So I got into a relationship that wasn't really productive to my growth. Now, looking back, I don't ever blame the young man. I mean, he was growing too, and a lot of us, we don't realize that. When you're in a relationship with people, both of you all are growing. And what I did in that relationship, the only thing I can do as a young lady is be responsible and hold myself responsible for the things that I can control. Cannot control another person. I can control me. And when I look back at it, what I was doing was I was giving him the authority to define my happiness. Anytime he said something to me that was discouraging or disheartening, it ruined my day. And then in terms of how he treated me, I adopted that mindset, and that's how I started to love myself. Started to love myself less and less. And when I did that, my income slipped. I lost my job. My credit took a hit. Fitness-wise, I fell out of shape. I was running into challenges with my military commitment. I lost a lot during that time. And I started to spiral into what I felt like was a depression. Now, I know there are mixed reviews and thoughts on what depression is, but to me, how I define depression is when you have a light or you have something about you that just is bigger than the box that you put yourself in. And I put myself in a box. I started to define myself. I told myself I deserved less and less. And thank God that, while I was still maintaining my military commitment, I got a phone call. A lieutenant colonel said, "You know what, young lady, I'm going to send you. I'm going to deploy you. You need to deploy. You're young in your career. You need to get that experience as an officer, and maybe it can help you financially switch some things around. You're in a bad space." And I was out in a state where I was by myself, not even around family. And I was too ashamed to tell my family what I was going through. And so I said, "Roger, ma'am, I'll go." And I went. Now, in this unique scenario, I didn't deploy with a unit. I deployed by myself into a unit. So it was a very, very lonely time. But that time alone was an opportunity for me to think clear. It took me away from all of the distractions back in the States. And even though there's a lot going on over there, you know what I mean? It allowed me to focus. And so I started setting small goals, I said, "You know what? In 6 months, I'm going to pay off my car." I paid it off in 3. I said, by the end of this 12 months, I'm going to save this amount of money. And I did. And as I'm doing these small goals, my confidence started to build, right? And so I said, I kind of like this, I was in the reserves at the time. I said, I like this. I love what I'm doing. I like this job. The interesting thing about my career path is that I solve problems. I solve puzzles. And I get to help people along the way, and so I kind of, I found my niche and I'm working it. Got an opportunity to extend, and I extended and stayed. A lot of people call me crazy, but a lot of people didn't know or understand where I came from and what I was after. And so I continued to set small goals while I was over there. It went from saving this amount of money to I said, "You know what? I'm going to go on vacation." Now, I can remember times where I've done things for people, right? Like I've bought things for their birthdays. Like I've sent people skydiving, and they never showed up. And I felt dumb. It hurt. I would go in their place. But I was trying to show, that I appreciated them and I loved them. I was just trying to, I guess when I look back at it, I was trying to make sure they didn't feel like how I felt. Like nobody noticed that it was your birthday. Nobody cared. I was trying to show them that I noticed. I care. I do. I want you to be happy, I was trying to show the love to them that I thought I wanted in return to myself. And I stopped putting that expectation on others. I don't know, I just stopped. When you're down there, downrange and you're on your own, it is only about you. You have to make yourself happy. I started putting that expectation on myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy me a vacation to Fiji. And I sure did. I didn't get to go because circumstances, in terms of my job took place and I have to do what I have to do. But I bought it. And when I bought that ticket and I bought that hotel package, I was like, damn, that felt good. I spent $3,000 on myself. I deserved that. I busted my ass. I worked hard. And when I did that, I said, you know what? If I'm going to go to Fiji, I'm going to go to Fiji looking right. So I began to work out. One thing led to another. Now, mind you, I've never been a fitness guru. I'm not a fast runner. I'm not athletic. But I started. And when I started training, I'm looking up different videos and how do you do this? How do you get abs? How do you lose body fat? The silly questions you ask yourself when you first start. I started seeing people train for competitions. And I told myself, I'm a really, I know you might not think so. I'm kind of a shy person. And I told myself, you know what? I want to model. I want to be a fitness model. Back in the day, if you'd have known me back in second grade or when I was younger, I was kind of a tomboy and I used to hide myself. I never thought of myself in the light of being beautiful or intelligent. I never thought of myself in that way. I always thought of myself as, in the background. I make a few jokes, but I'm in the background, I said today, you know what? It's going to be true life. Serena becomes a fitness model. And I started training. I found a coach, and he gave me some advice here and there. But when I deployed back, my coach was in a completely different state. And I'm here in the state of Georgia. And again, I fell into that trap of putting the expectation on someone else to save me instead of saving my damn self. When he wouldn't answer the phone, I had to research, learn things on my own. And I'm at a point now where I know, mature-wise, it's not necessary for a trainer. They are selling information that you can find on the internet, you can find in books on your own. So what are we really paying for, Are you paying for somebody to motivate you? Or are you going to find that intrinsic motivation within yourself? And I had to find that. And thus I've made some progress. I'm not figure competition ready, but I'm not where I used to be. And I took myself there. It was me. I did that for me. And it all started on the basis of loving yourself. So when I talk motivation, ladies and gentlemen, and I use fitness, I'm trying to show you that it mirrors life, right? When you first start working out, it's a challenge. Seeing the top of the stairs and you at the bottom. But then when you take that one step, you lose that first, let's say 5 pounds. And you're like, what? That felt good. I achieved a goal. Let me set another one. And then you set another one. And then next thing you know, your confidence starts to build, right? That's the whole beauty of it. And I try to use fitness as a platform to show you how life works. But ultimately, you have to start with an intrinsic motivation. And that motivation is fostered through disciplining yourself to loving yourself. How many of you all have boyfriends or girlfriends? You do a lot of things for them. You would cook them dinner, run their bath water. You do all these things for them. Or how many of you all, you love your family, you love your parents, you give them your last. How about your kids? You make sure to stay up and wait for them till they get home. These are all acts of love because you're sacrificing, right? But if you can't do that for you, you're already wrong. If you can't love yourself enough to make sure that you eat throughout the day, to make sure that you are good, you're already wrong. And then you're talking about not loving yourself, but loving someone else, you're only depleting you. And that's where that feeling comes from when the season ends and the loved one passes on by or goes, that you've lost yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, God does not just command us to love others and to love Him. He commands you to love you. That was the biggest thing that I've learned. And so me working out is me loving myself, taking care of myself, making sure that I eat right, making sure that I'm a good steward about the money that I make. And when I started to adopt that mindset, I came back home and my whole lifestyle changed. Now I have my own place to rest my head. I'm so grateful for my own place to rest my head. I have transportation, I have food, and I can do all these things on my own accord. I'm not depending on anyone. And that lets me know that if I can do this for me, if I'm capable of loving me, imagine what I could do for you. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Love yourself. Now, I didn't mean to talk this long, but I hope you got something out of it. And from here on out, I'll probably post maybe 2 to 3 minute videos a day to try to encourage you along your way. I promise you, this is not for show. I'm giving all of my energy outside of work to encourage you and let you know that you can do anything you put your mind to. Some of you all watching this don't have friends. You don't have a lot of people to talk to, you know. Just watch this video. And if you will, in this aspect, I'm your friend. And I want you to know that you can do it. Girl, you can do it. King, don't even listen to all that negative energy. If you want to be a football player, you can do it. If you want to be great at math, you want to be a mathematician, you can do it. I'm telling you, you can do anything you put your mind to. Thanks for watching. Continue to follow the EmpowerYOU channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll do my best to post videos, like I said, on a consistent basis. It'd be about 2 to 3 minutes of words of wisdom. And I hope you all can enjoy a little humor because I love to laugh. And I appreciate your support. God bless you, and hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.